guys, Isabella here, and welcome back to the channel. So today's video, shit, wfabb, wake up with wfabb. Now, if you guys don't know or haven't seen it before, I have actually really tried to expand my content a lot because I know I have a lot of shit to say about many different things. I talk about unethical shit all the time, and I've actually highlighted the self-development industry and the self-help industry and how problematic it can be, how it can cause a lot of harm, etc. I have an entire video on this if you guys want to check that out, but that's something that I'm really passionate about. And with that though, I have a big problem with a lot of self-development or self-help gurus because they're not really real, and I feel like that they are putting a lot of unnecessary pressure on a lot of people who are going through a lot of things. And with that, falling into that category comes Wake Up with wfabb. So if you guys don't know, Wake Up with wfabb is a podcast that the wfabb girls created, essentially making it to where it was free resources for people, which again, that sounds really appealing, and I like that they offer free things. However, I want to talk about if it's actually worth listening to or not. Again, as you guys know, I don't like them from an MLM standpoint, but that's not necessarily what I'm going to be covering today. But what I will say though is I will acknowledge when they say something good, I will acknowledge when they say something bad. I am not going to be completely unfair on this. However, I do see a toxic pattern with some of their self-development things they talk about in general, and since they finally revamped up this entire series, I wanted to talk about it. So before we hop into today's video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell button down below. This is a dress that I bought from H&M, which I'm going to be having somewhere on here. It's going to be linked if you guys want to check it out. My podcast, blog, channel, merch, and everything else is in the description below, and let's get into this shit. So if you guys don't know, the title for this is it's pretty much running with the topic that we've actually discussed many times, is how to be top tier or high value, which inherently this topic and this thing or concept is very nasty and honestly has a lot of internalized misogyny involved with it, because it gives the illusion, and because again, this message is targeted really heavily to women, but it gives the illusion that you, unless you do all these very specific things, you aren't automatically good enough. And I have a very big problem with that, but we'll dive into that in a bit.
The very best value so that you guys can go out there and take this information and go take not just action, but massive action. Like, these calls are meant to mold you and to recreate you, because the things that you're obviously on these calls because you want to be better, because when you're better, you attract better, right? And you attract more into your life. And so we're trying to diminish and leave the old ways, the old habits, the old patterns behind, and bring on new patterns, new habits, new thought habits, so that you guys can go out there and receive everything you've ever dreamed of. Okay, so on today's episode and call is going to be on how to be a top tier person. Okay, and I learned this from, I think, a couple of years ago, like 2 years ago, I learned.
So, okay, one thing I want to talk about that some people might not agree with me on. One thing I want to talk about with this in regards to the people that are preaching the self-development in an unhealthy way versus the people that are receiving it. There's a level of being a victim on both sides. And what I mean by that is the people that are listening and taking this information in and receiving this really toxic information are a victim to it. While I also think at the same time, even though this individual, in my opinion, is a very unethical scammer, which has had a lot of predatory and messy things happen, I do think Jasmine, this individual, is a victim of it as well. Now, again, that doesn't exclude that she hasn't done a lot of bad things, but two things can exist at the same time. And I do think that she is a victim of it as well, because when we are in a vulnerable position, sometimes we latch onto things a little bit more that are giving us power. And I'm gonna tell you right now, as I actually remember when I was younger, when I was a kid, I didn't fully understand how to protect myself. So I went into defensive mode very often. And I did it in a way to where I took information and I did things to help myself. I used it as my strength, when in reality, it actually was not helping me in any way. And so I think even though Jasmine is someone that's sharing this information, displaying it, and not being an ethical person, I also think at the same time that due to the fact that she has been in a vulnerable position before and actually has been hurt heavily by stuff, I do think that somebody pushed this mentality on her as well. Therefore, she was a victim also of it and has used it now to display, and in my opinion, has allowed it to be used in a manipulation tactic for other people in her life, which is really messed up. So I think two things can exist at the same time. I think she's a victim with this, along with someone who is participating in the predator aspect as well.
How to become this person, but it was more so like me being unaware of it. I didn't know that it was like, they call it being top tier or being high value, being a person of value, right? So I learned this like subconsciously 2 years ago, like by knowing the type of person and who I am and what I bring to the table. Actually, in my head, I didn't bring anything to the table. I am the fucking table. Okay. And so this is the type of energy I want you guys all to embody. Okay. And I know that like sometimes maybe we do embody this and then the society tears us down for it, right? Society tells us, oh my gosh, she's all that. Who does she think she is, right? I don't know how many of you guys have had that before where she thinks she's all that. She thinks she's all that. He thinks he's all that. He's on a high horse. She's on a high horse. She thinks she's all that. He thinks he's top tier. And then we kind of like tuck our tail and we hide. And those are just insecurities being placed on you by other people because they don't feel like they are top tier, right?
Quickly, I'm going to stop this by saying she's completely right with this. How, and again, I personally experienced this where there are some people who are intimidated by you having a lot of value in yourself. Now, again, sorry, I had to set my water down. There are bad things and good things with this. So, for example, you can be someone that's very self-absorbed to a healthy state, and then you can also be someone who genuinely like loves themselves, knows their worth, and like that can exist, absolutely. And there's some people that are super intimidated by that. However, on the opposite side of this, it is nasty and weird when you label yourself as a top tier person because it gives the illusion that there is a hierarchy of good enough people according to what you do. I think teaching people that you have to hit this certain, again, hierarchy of good enough to be a high value person or worthy of respect or worthy of somebody's time or worthy of love, that is very toxic and manipulative. So again, this is kind of all over the place.
So I'm here to tell you guys to, whenever you receive that, I want you to respond in your mind and in your head whenever somebody says, oh, she thinks she's all that. Who does she think she is? She thinks she's top tier. Yes, I do. I think I'm all that. Yes, I do think I am top tier, right? Because I need you guys to understand that there is nobody, and I mean nobody on this planet Earth that's gonna support you like how you support yourself. And I promise you, what has gotten me to where I am today is me supporting me and me telling myself that I am all that. Me telling myself that, no, I don't just bring something to the table. I am the table. I know who I am. I am on my own high horse, right? I've put myself on a pedestal because I used to be that type of person that would put others on a pedestal. How many of you guys have done this before, where you've seen somebody and automatically you put them on a pedestal? Type one in the chat if you felt like this, if you've done this before. Okay, I've done it before too. Now, it's automatic. It's because of our subconscious programming. We automatically see somebody as better than us, and so we start putting them on a pedestal, and we start, instead of receiving, we start chasing, okay? And that chasing energy is never going to, what you want in your life is not going.
All right, okay, let's stop this here. I am all for podcasts, I'm all for stuff, but this sounds so unorganized, and I'm not trying to say this to be a dick, I'm just being real here. On mine, for example, because my podcast series, whatever you want to call it, I have videos on my blog channel, that kind of stuff. It's called Angel Talk, if you guys want to know. You got to be clear when you're just going to ramble, and then you got to be clear when you actually have like a game plan for people. Like if I have a video where I'm going to fucking ramble, which is what I think this is, I'm honestly straight up with you and saying, I don't have notes, I'm just speaking from the heart, and I'm just kind of going with it. That's fine. But when we have a podcast that's like, I'm going to teach you how to be high value, and then we randomly jump from talking about being a high value person to randomly putting other people on a pedestal and then chasing and not chasing things, now it's getting confusing.
It's going to come to you. You're not going to attract it because you're consistently chasing it. So when you put somebody else on a pedestal, you now think you're less worthy than that person. And now everything, all your attention is, I need that person. I need that person. No, you don't need anybody. You need yourself, and people need you. And when you start to embody this, that's when you start to attract people, attract other things and success, finances, better people, better quality business partners into your life, because you know, again, what you are and who you are. And people need a little bit of what you bring, not bring to the table, because again, you are the table, right? We're not saying I bring something to the table, because you are the table. You are the table, and people are begging to sit at your damn table, okay? So we need to have this energy, okay? So this is the energy of being top tier, of being high value, okay? So we're gonna
Jasmine, that's the energy of just knowing your fucking worth. That's not about being top tier. That's just, you know your worth. That's it. You don't waste your time. You value your time, your energy. You know yourself. That's literally just knowing your self-worth. Like, let's not put a toxic label on it, babe.
start. This is just a little introduction so you guys understand where I'm coming from. So what is the top tier definition? Okay, what is a top tier definition? The highest level or quality, okay? It's elite, okay? You are elite. It's top level, it's top rank, it's top standing, okay? It's being the table, not sitting at the table. You being the table. That's what top tier is, okay? So let's just get that definition out of the way so you guys understand what it means, and this is what we want to become, okay? So I'm going to talk about 3 things, okay? 3 things that will help you become top tier. These are the 3 main things that helped me, but there's a lot more, and we'll go on over part 2 for next week, Monday. But these are the 3 things, okay? So the first thing on how to show up as a top tier person is energy, right? When you walk into a room. So this is how you're going to start practicing being a top tier person, is when you walk into a room. I want you guys to be so aware of how you walk into a room. Watch your body language, okay? See how your body language is, okay? I want you to take up space. Take up space, okay? No more looking down. How many of you guys have felt guilty walking into a room, walking into an event, walking into a group setting, and y'all look down? You look down, you don't even make freaking
I think she's getting at the kind of vibe as like knowing your worth, which is fine. But when you're trying to teach people how to know your worth, you should be focusing on inner work, right? You should be focusing on how to help yourself, what's good for you, what you want in life, thinking for yourself, and doing those types of things and challenging yourself in your own way. I think this concept is more focusing on what people see you as. I really do, because she's talking about energy, how you look walking into a room. I think she's focusing way too much on what other people are going to look at you versus how you look at yourself. And those are entirely 2 different things, because I shouldn't be sitting here and saying how to be a high value person and know your worth. Give a fuck if you hold or eye contact with somebody in a room, how you walk in there. Who gives a fuck? That creates you to be more self-conscious than if you encourage that. Like, honestly, I'm sure the rest of this message is going to be very other people centered. And again, I am all for improving your appearance if you want to, learning how to walk into a room and feel more confident, absolutely. But I think that this has a mentality that is, more focused on how people perceive you and how you look to them versus how you actually feel. Because when you feel good, and this is just from my personal experience, when I feel good, I don't give a solitary flying shit what somebody thinks of me or how I look at a room. I don't give a fuck, because I'm just living, right? And I think that security is more valuable, and that self-sufficiency and that feeling good is way more valuable than monitoring and caring how you walk into a room all the damn time.
Eye contact. Okay, no more looking down. No more crossing your arms. No more telling yourself you're being shy. It's okay to be shy, right? But when you're walking into a room, you need to embody this top tier person, right? No more telling yourself, this is a good one that a lot of people tell me this one, okay? No more telling yourself, I have so much anxiety in a room filled with people, because it's so much energies. We need...
Jasmine, do you think people sit here and tell themselves to be anxious? This is why I say this is bullshit. No one sits here willingly and tells himself to be anxious. I feel like I am one confident bitch now, but there's times where I have to hype myself up again because I get anxious. It happens. Anxiety is something that just happens that you have no control of. Trust me, if there was an on and off switch for my anxiety, that bitch would have been slammed down from the get-go. No more telling yourself to be anxious anymore. Nobody's telling themselves to be anxious. Jasmine, have we ever heard about introverts? Have we ever heard about social anxiety? Have we ever heard about different people and personality types and human beings? Let's talk about how to feel good about yourself and be secure in who you are as a person. Be secure in your introvertness. Be secure in the way you talk to people. Be proud of yourself for the baby steps that you make. Being proud of yourself then for holding a conversation with a stranger. Baby steps are steps, and being proud of yourself for not completely getting over your anxiety, because sometimes that can't help, but being able to get through it in a healthy way because you really wanted to do something for yourself. This is fucking weird.
No, we need to stop telling ourselves this, okay? Why? Because this is insecure energy. Okay? No more of this. Okay? From now on.
Seriously, this, and again, as someone who literally went from used to fucking hate myself and being so insecure, so self-conscious all of the time, to feeling like an entirely different human being, I'm gonna tell you right now, it is so hard to unlearn being insecure. It is a bitch. It's so difficult. So I don't like how she's wording this, where she's like, well, you need to stop telling yourself to be insecure. You need to stop telling yourself to be anxious. Sometimes we can't help it, or we've been mentally trained to think that way for so long, and it's hard to unlearn. It's not as simple as saying, don't be anxious. Oh, fuck. Okay, my bad. Like, what?
When you walk into a room, you are walking in with your back straight, your shoulders back, okay, with really great posture, right? I want you guys to have that nonchalant energy, that whatever, I'm here just because, you know, I'm here because they need me here. Okay. That type of nonchalant energy is so attractive, because you're not giving that type of energy where you're like, oh my gosh, what does this person think of me? Are they looking at me? Are they judging me? What are they thinking about me right now? No, babe. No, guys. Okay. You don't care. Okay. You don't care, because you already know how you feel about your.
And that, my friends, is a deeper topic that we need to get into. Funny enough, though, and again, like, if you are interested in this, this kind of shit is what honestly inspired me to make my own podcast, because I was so interested in, like, how do I talk about real things, real problems, like, actually be realistic here and share all of it. Like, no perfection, progress over perfection. And I literally actually made a video about this where I was like, how to not give a fuck what people think about you. And you can't always not care, but there's steps to help. And I think that's the problem, is we have people like this that have this perspective of being perfect or hitting that level, and you're always working towards a level of perfection that you will never be able to touch. And that's the reality, and that is also a sad reality of self-development. You're always working because nothing is ever good enough, when if anything, slowly making little habits or adjustments to help yourself feel secure and like yourself is better. Her saying, oh, well, we like ourselves. Not everyone does. That's a fucking sad reality. Not everyone does. And not everyone knows even how to like themselves. So how are they supposed to put these things in place when we don't have any other basis to help yourself like yourself?
Okay, you validated yourself. And let me bring it back to that specific thing that a lot of people tell themselves, is that, like, I have so much anxiety in a room with so many people. I'm that person. I have a lot of anxiety going into a room with a lot of people, right? And so, you know what I do? I prep myself. Every time I show up in a room, a group, at an event, especially when I'm speaking, because after I speak, everybody comes in and they want to talk to me. I used to get so much anxiety, and I'm just like, well, and you know what I did? I analyzed. I'm like, why? I was never like this before. Why am I getting anxiety? And so it just was that I was looking at other people and like, oh, what do they think about me? What are this and this and that? So I had to work on my beliefs, right? And it almost, and I still have like anxiety till this day, but I tap into and I embody this top tier girl when I go into a room. And I literally I meditate right before an event, and I just envision this top tier girl and this magnetic energy that I will be giving off when I'm at this event. And I promise you, it'll remove all the anxiety that you have. You won't care because you validated yourself. Validate myself right before a big event or right before I get into a big crowd, so that I don't have this anxiety and I don't tell myself there's too much energies. No, instead of telling yourself that story, I want you to change it up and be like, there's so many energies that are gravitating to me. And I appreciate this because not a lot of people can experience this magnetic energy that I have. Right? So let's start telling ourselves that, and let's start looking at how we walk into a room. I also, before I walk into a room, I give myself a pep talk. And I tell myself, I will walk into this room and all eyes will be on me. People will break their necks looking at who. I literally tell myself this because I got to prep myself when I walk into a room. I want to make sure that I'm giving off this magnetic energy. Okay. So
quickly, I want to pause this. That pep talk shit. Oh, I do that all the time. That's not wrong. Like, I will literally be like, I got this. I'm fucking great. I'm good. I'm not too much. I'm just enough. Like, you have to do little pep talks sometimes. That 100% relatable. I think here's my thing though. This caption and this title is how to be top tier or high value. What does this have to do with just walking into a room and being high value? Again, this is genuinely only thinking about mainly what other people see you as. This is not helpful.
Yourself, body language, take up space, stop crossing your arms. Do not look down, for the love of God, do not look down. And if you do, I want you to be aware of it and be like, no, today we are top tier. Today we are a high valued individual that brings this magnetic energy. Okay? So you are that girl.
I don't think she understands that there are people that genuinely have not an inch of control over this. Like, they can't help if they don't want to have eye contact, or like there's some people who really struggle with these things. And I think also there's a very unrealistic pressure about how you behave when walking into a room. You have to always have this type of posture and not cross your arms. There's nothing wrong with crossing your arms. I do it all the fucking time. I think the biggest thing is be proud of going to that, whatever you gotta do, doing whatever you gotta do, speaking at that event, walking to that place that you've been really scared to walk into because your anxiety's really kicked your ass. Again, baby steps are steps, and acting as if being this completely put together public speaker that has not an inch of anxiety and always holds eye contact is unrealistic for many, many people. And we're forgetting so many different people who genuinely cannot help it. And it's annoying to me how we label that as top tier, but people who maybe cross their arms or look down or don't really want to always hold eye contact or maybe feel uncomfortable in their space is at top tier. That's fucking weird to me.
2, the top tier beliefs. Okay? How to start feeling like that top tier person. This is number 2. How to start feeling like that top tier person. At the end of the day, that top tier person is not just a communication style. It's not just body language. That person is literally, and I want you to write this down, that person is an energetic embodiment that's backed up by a belief system. Okay? Being top tier is an energetic embodiment that's backed up by a belief system. It's the way that you think. It's the way that you feel about who you are as a person. So let's put things into perspective for a sec, okay? Everything about the way that you are showing up in your reality right now, all your personality traits, that's a direct byproduct of the set of beliefs that you are caring about who you are, right? So all of those beliefs that you have is what has made you show up who you are today, right? And that's the reason why you've only been attracting what you've been attracting today. For example, if you believe that you are last pick, that you are nobody's first choice, what do you think is going to happen? You're going to...
No, I'm here to tell you right now, this shit makes me so angry, and I get so passionate because I have been in those positions where I thought this shit and I thought this was normal. This is not normal. The thing is, if you are completely always attracting really shitty things in life because you don't always feel good, I think it's bullshit, because I think that's really odd to me how you're saying that you are attracting other people like negatively. And I think you cannot like yourself but have friends that really like you and are helping you get there. And I also think this is in a way victim blaming, because then I wonder if we're going to get into the topic of relationships, because saying that you are only attracting shitty people that don't value and respect you is also really fucked up, because you can grow and start realizing your worth and everything while being in a relationship, and it's not your fault if they don't treat you good, because even if you are naive and if you don't know any better, the people that even know better, anyone does not deserve someone to disrespect them and treat them like shit. So talking about this is like, oh, well, you're just attracting people because you think this way, you feel this way. I don't like that. People deserve love even if they don't love themselves. And that's exactly why I talk like I do.
You're going to act as that, right? You're going to fulfill that story because that's the belief that you have, right? So you're going to speak in a way that reflects that. You're going to act in a way that reflects that. It's going to be in everything that you do because it's a state of being. Does that make sense? Like, for example, I worked with so many people, and like, I've gone out with, like, I go out here and there and whatever. And like, I don't know, I love to dance. I love to just be in feminine mode because guys, like in my business, I'm pure masculine. Okay. Masculine energy. It's very beast mode. And like, it's very like just hunting all the time. So when I go out, I want to be in my feminine, right? Because I don't get much of that. I don't do much of that, okay? Because I'm consistently building my business. So when I'm out, I'm like very like vibing in my feminine energy, and I'm just
Okay, can I ask something real quickly out of genuine curiosity? What the fuck does she mean by masculine and like feminine? Like, you can't be feminine and build a business. You can't be in your feminine, as she says. You can't be in your Huh?
like feeling it, feeling the energy. And I remember the person that I was with, because I told them to record me, and I'm just like, vibing. I'm pretty sure you guys seen all my stories. And she's like, I don't know how you do that. Like, how you're able to just do that and record it and then post it up. Like, I would feel so uncomfortable. And I'm just like that's the story that you keep telling yourself. Whereas my story, like, I want to show my feminine side. I want to show that I not only can be masculine, but I also can be very feminine. And I want to show off the feminine side of me because I think that is beautiful. Right. And so again, like, if you're that person that's like, I feel awkward. Well, that is the story that you keep telling yourself, and you're going to fulfill that story because that's the belief that you have. So you're going to speak in a way and show up in a way that reflects that. You're going to act in a way that reflects that. You're going to speak in a way that reflects that. And you're going to be in it's going to be in everything that you do. Right. So now that we know to truly become that top tier person, you have to change your belief system and that self-concept. So how do we start integrating that? With a little something called subconscious programming. Okay, so your subconscious mind is like a computer. This computer stores all of your beliefs, right? All of your beliefs that you have about yourself and your reality. And those beliefs are being reinforced every single day with your thoughts and your habitual thinking and the words that you are habitually speaking, right? And so if you want to change your programming, you have to break the pattern, and you have to introduce new thoughts and beliefs and ideas into your subconscious. And this is where affirmations come in, right? This is where affirmations come into play. And the key thing here is your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between real or fake. Okay. So once you start repeating these affirmations over and over and over again, it will start to see it as a fact.
So this is something that I will totally agree with her on, is trying to like start affirmations and talk to yourself nicer. I've actually talked about this before too, where like talking to yourself nicer is harder, but I think the more that you practice, the more that you start to believe it. I kind of like talk about it as like talking mean to yourself versus correcting yourself, because like we do this a lot where I'd be so fucking mean to myself. And this is funny, but it's also terrible. I used to joke about like being a dumb bitch and joke about being ugly as fuck. And then I was like, start joking about being hot as fuck. Start joking about being a smart bitch. And funny enough, it started becoming like my normal thoughts. Like it literally started becoming my normal thoughts. And I was like, oh, it worked. And I started actually believing it. And so that's smart. I like that. But again, that's just building your self-confidence. That's not about becoming a top tier person. You're still a valuable human being, even if you struggle with that.
Now, this is where I feel like the affirmations work for me, because I know you guys have heard affirmations over and over and over again, like, oh, you need to say these affirmations, but it's not specifically working out for you because the affirmations that you're saying don't resonate with you. You just kind of went on Google, you read up something, you read up a whole bunch of affirmations, and you're like, I am this, I am that. And there's like 100 million affirmations that you're saying every single day. And it's not working because second thing that I would say, okay? Practice how to start feeling like that top tier person. Okay. Did you guys write those things down? Type of one if you guys are with me. One if you guys are with me. Perfect. Okay. Number 3. This is a big one. I think this one's like one of the top and most important ones. Okay. Number 3, how to look the part.
Here we go. Okay, I fucking knew it. So think about this. Your energy and how you walk into a room. That's pretty much, again, I fuck with the concept, but her focus on it was how other people would perceive you. Now, looking the part. Again, there is a good way of approaching looking all put together. There's a good way of doing it to make you feel good. And then there's also a way of trying to make yourself look like something that you're not. I'm scared for this one.
How to look the part, okay? How a top tier person would look like.
And there we go. That's when it gets toxic. What does a high value, what are they going to look like? How are they going to dress? I don't know how they want to. We just went from good advice to whipping it back around to toxic. What does a top tier person look like? Whatever the fuck they want because they feel good in what they love. And that's what bothers me too is, again, there's this mentality and perspective of what she thinks is top tier or what she thinks dressing up or, looking like is top tier. That is so weird to me. To me, like loving yourself and everything should be loving who you are. Loving it if you look like society's quote unquote norms or not looking like society's quote unquote norms, but being happy with you because you are you do what you want. You love what you want. Like you wear what you want. It shouldn't matter what looking the part. I think that's so weird to me because again, like what are the requirements for looking the part?
Clothes, their hair, their makeup, their jewelry, okay? But first, you need to ask yourself, what type of top tier person do I want to be? Okay, so write that down. This is how I recreated myself. I recreate myself like every 6 to 9 months. Ask yourself, what type of top tier person do I want to be?
Let's be super duper astronomically logical here. What does that mean? What type of high value person? How many are there? Are there categories? Are there tiers? What does this even mean? This makes no logical sense. This is also so hard to have, like, for people to actually put in place. Again, the other advice I do, it makes sense. Cool. Love when we have the healthy stuff of teaching yourself how to love you. That's great. This makes no logical sense.
What kind of vibe do I want to go with? What type of aesthetic am I going for? Right? When I was recreating my self-concept, I wanted to be that bougie CEO. I wanted to be that bougie CEO, okay? And I started to look on Instagram.
Real quickly, I have to say something though. I am not hating on her wanting to look a certain way or whatever, but teaching people that that's how you become high value is what pisses me off. If you really fuck with this and you're like, oh my God, I'm gonna have this modern vibe to myself. I'm gonna change my hair to look like this. Like, that's cool. If that's what you wanna do, great. But that is not a necessity to be a high value person or be a better person or feel better. That is not. And again, this kind of shit is what puts very unrealistic expectations on people because they have like a bajillion long list of things that they have to do to hit these standards. Like, oh my God, I have to have these affirmations, or I have to walk in a room and always have eye contact with people, or oh my God, I have to dress this way. No.
One of the pages that I got super inspired by is, who knows Kristen Quinn? Yes, go on Pinterest. That's what I was going to say too. I go on Pinterest too. But the Kristen Quinn.
She's talking about you as if you are a social media app that needs to be updated or a social media feed. You are not a app. You are not technology. You are not a Pinterest board. Okay? You are a human being with thoughts, feelings, and emotions, wants, needs, you name it. You are far more complex and important than that. And we're looking at this as if you need to update yourself like a damn app.
She's on Selling Sunset. She's one of the blonde girls on there. Like, I think she had short hair at the time. But oh my gosh, she gives bougie CEO. Okay, I was like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. What she did. Okay, so I'm gonna share with you guys what I recreated. Okay. What I recreated. Okay, so do you guys see like a similarity of like with the photos that I have on my Instagram in the car?
Wait a minute. So she's copying. So okay, one, how is this helping anyone? Two, Jasmine, you are copying people directly then to give yourself the vibe. You are copying someone's personality and look to become someone that you're not, and that's top tier. Don't listen to people like this.
So that's the first one. Now look at this one. Do you guys know what I was going for with this one? You get the whole vibe. I copied everything. Okay. And then the last one, this one.
She fucking copied the outfit and pose and everything to a T of another creator so that way she can rebrand herself and look like something that she is not. That is not good advice because she's not a CEO. Let's just be real here. She's not even giving that type of energy, but she wants to mimic us. She's copying someone's look and personality. That's not normal.
Do you guys know what I was going for with this one? You guys seen that on my page? You guys can go the whole vibe. I copied everything. Okay. And then the last one, this one. Okay, with that light.
Not everyone's on social media too. What is this helping? Like literally these self-development, I'm gonna help you become a high value woman is like, I'm gonna help you look really cool to other people and I'm not really gonna give you any substance. The only substance and actual true shit that I really truly agree with is the affirmations. This is so
okay, with that last one, all black, gloves, glasses. So this is what I mean, okay, about being top tier. You got to get creative. You got to look the part. Listen.
Wow, being top tier means you have a cool IG filter. I hate it here. I really do.
Like, you can take these photos with your iPhone, okay? And you can, look, this.
Okay, Jasmine, holy, I'm gonna lose my fucking marbles. No one gives a fuck about a photo. They give a fuck about actually liking themselves, at looking in the mirror and thinking, oh, I don't hate myself today. That is because, and again, speaking from experience here, like that is what people struggle with. People want to know how they can feel better, how they can progress, all of these things. This is not helpful. And I know she's not a therapist, but let's be real here. Imagine a therapist sits you down and says, oh, well, in order for you to track good things in your world and for you to be a high value person, you have to learn that. So you have to, always look at people's eye and walk into the room in a very specific way. And you have to take Instagram photos in a certain way. Like, look at how I took my Instagram photos. I would fire my therapist if she was like that. Mine's fucking cool though, so thank God. But I'm about ready to message my therapist and be like, what do you think about this? This is nuts.
This outfit, Fashion Nova. This whole outfit here with the gloves, Fashion Nova. This whole outfit here, Fashion Nova, friends. Fashion Nova. Okay, listen. You just gotta be resourceful. Okay? You don't have to, okay?
You're telling people to go shopping for clothes and that's what makes them high. God, a fucking doorknob would have made a better point than this. Now, again, I'm getting pissed off with this too. I do not like this. I do not like this at all. This is so nasty to me. You do not need to buy new clothes to be a high value person, okay? And this is nasty. You don't need new clothes. You don't need to have a certain vibe. You don't know. Again, think about your main demographic. Most people cannot swing fucking buying a new wardrobe or doing all these things or getting a photo. No one can do that. No one can do that. This is so unrealistic. Oh my God.
Resourceful. Okay? You don't have to have resources. You just gotta be resourceful.
And again, Jasmine, what the fuck is a new suit or outfit going to do to make yourself feel better all the time? I mean, don't get me wrong. A nice outfit makes me feel hot as shit. But again, to progress and become a high value person, the outfit is going to do it. To give you a look to who? Someone else? To make them what?
Okay, you got to get that inspo. Okay, so I want you guys to look for somebody that resonates with you, right? With your recreation. My recreation was that bougie CEO, right? And I would scroll through. I would scroll through Instagram. I also scroll through Pinterest and I get ideas. I'm actually having a photo shoot at 12 noon with my photographer, and we're going to do similar things like this again. Okay, so that's what I mean by recreating yourself and looking the part, okay, of a top tier person. Okay, do it, because I promise you the average person right now is talking themselves out of it and feeding themselves a lot of negative thoughts of like, oh, I don't know if I can do that. Like, but like that would like literally self-sabotaging. And
so people need to get into a specific mindset to take Instagram photos and pretend to be something that they may or may not be. Because like, again, like I'm not trying to pull this out of my ass. I'm being so for real here. Why are you encouraging people to buy certain outfits and take Instagram photos and that's going to change everything? And that's what's holding you back. Mindset's a different story, because there's some things where like your mindset, maybe you're not feeling good enough, might be holding you back from certain aspects. Sure, possibly. But this is excessive as hell.
To change your subconscious programming. You need to start accepting change. It's okay to be scared. Fear is there to protect you. Unfortunately, it is to keep you in a comfortable state. But entrepreneurship and having a different life, a different reality requires the unknown, because it's different. It's something that you've never experienced before. So of course it's going to be scary. Of course it's going to be uncomfortable. You need to expect that. You need to expect the uncomfortable, awkward, I don't know, this is scary, I don't know. You need to accept that. That's what it's going to come with. But embrace it and be like, yeah, that's expected because I've never done this before. So we're going to go ahead and do it. You're already here. You already had the audacity to try and hear somebody who's successful out so that you can change your life. So now let's go into the next step of actually doing it. Okay? Because you guys already know what needs to be done. Okay? So this is how to recreate yourself, okay? With your clothes. Now, with your hair, or sorry, with your makeup, I want you guys to start perfecting your makeup routine. Excuse me. Play around with it, okay?
I quit. No, I'm tired. Are you tired of listening to random goofies on the internet tell you that you're not good enough? Me too. Here's the solution. Don't. Makeup and a makeup routine does not make you better or more valuable or change your mindset, babe. I'm gonna tell you right now, majority of my videos, I've even filmed videos where I'm breaking out looking pretty rough for me, okay? Literally, you can go through most of my videos. Majority of the time, I'm not wearing shit on my face. I did that for a very reason. I actually mentally took notes and said, you know what? I'm gonna try and wear as least amount of makeup in my videos as much as I can. Sure, get glammed up, but not because I want people to know that there is nothing wrong with not getting decked out all the fucking time. And if I can do it on a 4K camera, you can do it as well. We can both progress to liking ourselves more in our natural way. You do not need to perfect your makeup routine to become good enough or high value. Like, this makes no sense. Again, there's nothing wrong with being like, hey, oh my God, you could totally play with it and learn what works for you. Because dude, I love makeup. In a fucking video that is teaching you how to be high value, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Play around with your makeup routine until you find what makes you feel confident. Now, I'm not saying to go and do a whole 16-step makeup routine. That's not what I'm saying. But if you don't feel good with your makeup routine, like, just play around with it, do something different, and whatever makes you feel confident, stick with that. Okay. Same thing with hairstyles. Experiment with different hairstyles that make you feel confident. Okay. I've experienced so many times when I went blonde, I cut my hair short. I'm actually thinking of doing that again, just chopping it off. Like, I'm super impulsive like that. And just
chopping it off, like, the girl from Selling Sunset that you were trying to mimic. Big time. Yeah. The ideas of, hey, like, totally, like, if you want to change up your style, you totally should. Or, hey, like, play with hairstyles. Like, find something that you really love. Or find a makeup routine you really love. That's all cool. I will encourage that. Putting this in a video that is saying this is how you become a high value and change your life is weird to me. Not everyone wants to wear makeup. Not everyone wants to dress up in certain ways. Again, my vibe and aesthetic is not for everyone. But my vibe and aesthetic is not elite, nor is it the best. It is one of many. One person's makeup style is one of many. Goodness.
Changing it up, and whatever makes you feel confident, stick with that. Like, for the longest time, long hair made me feel super confident. I still feel confident with my hair, super long and voluminous, right? For men, maybe change up the hairstyle that you've had for years. It's time for something different. Okay. So jewelry, same thing. Change it up. If you wear the same jewelry every day, how many of you guys wear the same jewelry every day and you guys don't?
Why does it matter? Let's be real here. Why does it fucking matter if you wear the same jewelry every damn day? Plot twist. It doesn't. Why does it matter if you wear the same jewelry every day? So, if you feel comfy and confident, wear it. I have some of the same shit I wear all the damn time. Why does it matter? This is not a make it or break it for you. Also, isn't it funny how this is very materialistic stuff and something that some people would look at you in a very specific way? And isn't it interesting how a lot of this requires more money now? Sometimes some people don't have the options to make all these changes. This is unrealistic.
Change it. How many of you guys are like this? You have like the same jewelry. Okay, not a lot of, yeah, see. Okay, we got to change it up a little bit. I tell my mentees, sometimes I see them wearing the same jewelry every time they show up on their stories, and their jewelry is nice, but it's predictable. And that's
So you do. This is okay. This woman's insecure. This woman is insecure, I'm telling you right now. And I'm not saying that to be an ass. I'm saying that in reality. Because why would you care about what other people wear on their hands, wear on social media? Why does it matter? Why does it matter so much that you need to keep making yourself and giving this vibe of a CEO when you're not? Because she isn't. Why does it matter that you have to look a specific way or act a specific way when you walk in a room? You should care about how you feel with yourself, how you feel about what you wear. I mean, secure and confident in the position that you're you're in right now. If you are doing this, and if you're also guilting people, mind you, which clearly she is showing that she is guilting people for wearing certain things every single day, which there is nothing wrong with, please know, this is an insecure woman. This is an insecure woman that is pulling random shit that other people have told her and putting it on a podcast. No one who is truly secure is going to tell you to change shit for other people. You should not. You are perfect just the way you are. You are wonderful just the way you are. And if you want to make improvements or changes, that should be on you. And this is something I have very much encouraged. If you want to make a change, is it what you really want, or is it what someone else wants you to do? That right there, okay? If you are wanting to make changes because someone else is trying to guilt you into that, fuck them. You should be doing what you want and be happy with that and make those changes. And you are good enough without changing your jewelry all the time. Also, who the fuck pays attention to what jewelry everyone wears and how frequently they wear it? That's like the same with clothes. Oh my God, you wore that shirt like after 2 days ago. This is stupid. I'm sorry, but I have a full belief that this person is insecure, but wants to push off this belief and this perspective that she is secure. No secure person is going to do that, nor are they going to push that kind of stuff. She's pushing her insecurities on other people. I'm telling you right now.
That's the thing, is I was talking to actually my top earners last night, and I told them, you want to be unpredictable. You want to be so unpredictable that people just don't know what to expect the next day from you. So if you're wearing the same jewelry every day, that's boring. Become unpredictable, okay? So change your jewelry up. Doesn't have to be real. Not all my jewelry is real, okay? Actually, my fashion accessories from Dior, that stuff is not real, okay? I change it up.
So actually, she's wearing the same ring that I am right now. You want to know how much this was? Like $7, a couple bucks. It was really pretty. That's it. The rest, these are literally $2 in a like 50 pack from Forever 21. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. It's also funny to me too, because I also would like to this. This is the only thing I will say in regard to MLMs. Only thing I'm going to say. This woman will talk about making lots of money and has talked about being successful. But she weaponizes designer to show that off. When someone weaponizes designer and then doesn't make it clear that it's fake, I have a problem. That, fake. Any other shit in my room? I can't see. If there's anything designer in my house, it's going to be fake, and I will always tell that to you. But if you kind of hide it like she has most of the time, that's weird to me. And also, you don't need to buy designer or fake designer to look cool. Why do we have to buy fake things and do all of that in order to be high tier? You know, let's not encourage that. I was still a good enough person before I had materialistic things, my love. Okay? We don't need this energy.
I have jewelry from Shein. Guys, there's rings that are for $2 on Shein and bracelets for $2 on Shein. Like I said, you just have to be resourceful. Okay? Change it up. Don't be predictable. As soon as you feel like people are viewing you and they're seeing you as predictable and they know what you're going to do, they know what you're up to.
Again, my love, this should not be becoming a better version of yourself, should not be so highly hyper-focused on what other people see you as or what people perceive you as. It shouldn't. That's a personal journey, right? Sorry, I'm petting my dog. But when we step into this world where she's discussing, well, if you get too predictable or you need to look a certain way, you need to look the part, that's weird. To me, this is truly shedding some deep insecurities that she has and putting some unrealistic expectations on other people that should not be on anyone to begin with. And this is why we should be cautious on the self-development podcasts that we listen to, because some of them are literally going to completely degrade the basic things and the basics that we should be focusing on, instead hyping this shit up, which is not normal. So I'm gonna actually stop this right here because that's about it. This is all I can take. This is ridiculous. Moral of the story, don't listen to this shit, okay? There's so much better out there. Thank you guys so much for watching though. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next video. Stay glowing, my beautiful queens. Can you say bye-bye? Say, woo! There we go. Love you guys. Bye.